All right, now we're going to hear the battery-only part, so we can hear how that's all going to work together.
Just a couple things I want to add about the way that we go through our orchestration and our arranging process, especially relative to the battery. Like Andrew mentioned, it does fluctuate a lot relative to what we desire to see as a design team throughout the course of the show. Sometimes the music comes after the drill, sometimes the drill comes after the music, sometimes the pit music comes before the battery, sometimes the battery music comes before the pit. And it is that fluid, organic process that makes us capable of making sure that the viewer's eye and ear is always guided throughout the program. One of the challenges that we have, and we have it on a football field as well, but on the indoor venue with the close-up view of the performance area, we have a challenge that we're always in view. Save some moments where we might go behind a prop or disappear from view. Everything is pretty much in the view of the audience member and the judge 100% of the time. Now, let's say like you were watching a movie or designing a movie for somebody or editing that process. You can control exactly what your viewer sees, when they see it, how they see it, what the soundtrack is to it, and it can change on a dime. We have the challenge of transitioning from one moment that we like to see or that we think we like to hear or that we think would be effective in a general sense, and going from one of those to another. So there also tend to be a lot of parts of the show that are developed as a consequence of having a need for a transition and trying to go from one place to the next or one event to the next. Personally, as I approach the writing for Rhythm X, my opportunity to write and orchestrate for a battery is just at the absolute highest level with these guys. They give me the most vibrant colors for which to use the paintbrush. And we can literally go in a huge scope and scale of what it is that we're playing to. The orchestration in the front ensemble also lends us to that variety as well. Whether or not we're playing along with an electronic soundtrack, or an acoustic soundtrack, or a full ensemble sound, it just changes so much. So we like to take what I guess we would call a musical approach. Doesn't everybody? We like to, I guess, trying to get away from a little bit more of the standard and stock of what you would maybe call a drum corps approach. However, I don't really think that's true. A lot of the development of orchestration and arranging has become both more musically textured, musically driven, as well as effect-based. And we try to have a nice marriage of those two things when we create our battery arrangement. Okay, so we're basically going to play the same part of the show that you just heard from the front ensemble. And you might notice some of those openings that they gave for us within the orchestration, how we tend to fill up that space. So starting from the buzz all the way to the end. Some things that I'd like for you guys to try and check out. Aside from the notes that are obviously written on the page and how they're coming through in an audible sense, we do also train the performers to mimic exactly what they do on the floor with their feet. So if there's a halt, we do that halt. If it's in an open second position, we make sure that it's open. If it's closed, we make sure it's closed. Basically so that we're trying to mimic as much of that simultaneous responsibility as they would have during the performance while they're standing still and playing, so that it's not two completely different challenges when we go back and forth. Another thing I'd like for you to look for is not only a sense of that musically driven arrangement, but for that contrast with the effect driven arrangement as well. Some of that is apparent in the density of notes. As far as effects are concerned, From a musical standpoint, we try and use a lot more expression, dynamic involvement. Also, there are some visual elements in here as well that obviously come through a little bit more as a coordinated effect. So we'll do that exact same thing for you one more time.